like, okay. If you're finding me for the first time, my name is Penny. I come here every Friday to talk about wellness, but I come here 4 to 5 days a week to encourage one person, to inspire one person, and to hope that, somebody can come across my video and learn something that is going to help change their life. So if you're finding me for the first time, please like my page. And as you come in, share this video, invite your friends, and let us learn and listen from other people or from me as I invite you to my personal space. So maybe there's something I will say that is going to touch you, or maybe there's someone that you're going to invite that is going through something that is going to be grateful that you shared the video. So share this video and invite your friends over. Let us have this talk. So my name is Penny again, and I just want to thank you for taking your time to, to be here. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate your support. And today we want to talk about wellness, and we want to talk about our children, our adult children. I just came from a funeral of a friend to my daughter, 21 years old. His life ended at 21. And it is so unfortunate when a parent lays their child to rest. It is not the easiest thing. And sometimes the parents don't even see it coming. There's a time maybe some parents see it coming, or the child has been sick. But in some cases, there are parents who have lost children unexpectedly, or they didn't see it coming, because who really has a child and thinks of losing the child? And even when we talk about people who have miscarried, women who, or fathers who have lost a child right after childbirth or halfway 5 months into the pregnancy, the loss of a child is always painful. So today I thought I should talk about our adult children. I was blessed to get this book from one of my friends, or rather my Facebook follower. I'm yet to meet her, Cecilia Gatai. It is a very nice book, and she gave it to me when we had started doing this book with my husband. But because of the children, we've not been able to come on Sunday because my son has soccer. But this book is really nice, and the topic of the book is doing life with your adult children. I put up a post earlier. I believe it was this morning, because on Fridays I'm home. But this morning I was drawn back to the days when I turned 18. I remember when I turned 18, it was the most exciting thing for me. And I wanted to be out of my parents' house. And the other thing I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to go where I wanted to go and do whatever I wanted to do. So as soon as I got the national ID, I started going to the clubs. There was a club in Kisii town that used to be called Safe Lodge. So I was so happy actually to be in a bar, and it's something that I was looking forward to do, because when you turn 18, you're just feeling like So now I know, or later when I came to America, I was 19. I put two and two together. Someone who was an adult, who was at the bar, must have called my father and said, "You know what? I saw your daughter at Safe Lodge." I'm thinking I'm minding my business. But at that time, if you take me back now, I'm 50 years old. I literally had no reason to be at that bar. Although I had my own money that, my brother had given me, and some of it had, called my dad. I was too young to be in that bar with adults. So what my father did, when he came home on Sunday, he called a meeting and he sat me and my mom under like a tree. There was a fruit tree that we used to call Chambura. And he, he talked to my mom and, and myself, and he said, Penina, I want to tell you that word has reached me that you are at the Safe Lodge bar. And he told me there's nothing good that happens at the bar. So he said, your life is about to go to the drain, right? And he looked at my mother and he said to my mother, she's either going to turn into an alcoholic or she's going to get HIV and AIDS. AIDS is going to kill you and you're not going anywhere. And then he asked my mother if she had anything to say. My mom looked at me with total disgust and she had nothing to say. He gave me the lecture. He told me I had a future ahead of me, and he told me that space was not a good space for me to put myself in. Clearly, he knew what he was talking about. And clearly, I thought I knew where I was, but I didn't know where I was, because later, after I became an adult, I realized that, you know what, I was not really meant to be in that space because I wasn't working. I'm supposed to be going to college. I shouldn't have been there. I should have been somewhere with my friends trying to get ready for college. But I went into that bar comfortably because I thought I'm grown, I could do what I want to do. I want to speak to parents who did not have the experience that I had. So once I turned 18, I left my parents' house and I never came back again. I was gone up to today. And I want to speak on behalf of the children that you have now that are giving you a hard time. I have children ages 24, I have 21, I have 18, and I have 11. So I was among the first generation of children who are going to the clubs, who are smoking, who are drinking, and who are doing nightlife. And we didn't care whether we are going to find husbands or we didn't care about reputation. Like, I've never been a person who was worried of what so and so is going to say. So looking back, I must have caused my parents a lot of pain. But you know, at that time, you don't know that. You're just really minding your business. But I want to talk to the parents who are good children. Some of you were very good kids. You never gave your parents a hard time. You knew your expectations. You didn't drink. You didn't smoke. You were just good kids. And you know, nowadays you fast forward. And remember those days, there was no technology. We used to have a landline. So when anybody wanted to talk to you, they used to call the landline. And you know, the landline, when it rings the whole house. So meaning your mom, everybody is there and the phone is ringing. So you can't really have privacy. A phone was a necessity. Now phones are luxury. So I want to talk to you parents that have children that are doing the unthinkable, including me. I always invite you to my personal space. I always let you know that I am not doing well. As much as maybe you might be looking at me and you're like, oh, she got it. There is no human being who doesn't have it, who has it. Every human being is going through something. If I'm not going through one thing, I'm going through the other thing. So we might think that some people have it, but there's no human being who has it. As long as you have children, as long as you have young people, they could be your nieces, they could be your nephews, you are not going to sit and tell people that you are doing okay. There's nothing like doing okay because we are human. As long as you have siblings, as long as you have parents, as long as you have friends, you are always going to have some kind of challenge within your community or within your house. So there's every stage, you know, that children have to go through, and we need to come into terms and be in acceptance and say, you know what, this is the stage my child is. What can I do to help them? And that's why this book comes in handy, because this book is trying to tell you, you're not now going to raise these children. You are doing life with your adult children. There's a difference between raising the children and doing life with adult children, because pretty much once they become 18, once they turn 18, they become adults. They're out there doing what they're supposed to do. So you're not able to, let me see these comments. I'm not able to see the comments. I don't know why on the StreamYard. But can somebody write something so I can see if the comments are coming true? You're not going to be out there, helping your children make the choices they need to make. They are going to make good and bad choices. But I speak to you parents who have bad children now. I speak to you parents who have small children now. You need to be there for your children regardless of what your children are doing. Don't be embarrassed of your bad children. Don't be embarrassed that your children have a developmental disability. Don't be embarrassed that the children are abusing drugs. Don't be embarrassed that your children are abusing alcohol. Don't be embarrassed that your children refused college. whether they are going to college, whether they don't go to college, whether they are sober, whether they are drunk, the children belong to you. We are the perfect example of those children that we remained to be our parents' children. Regardless of what I was doing, I was still my father's child. I was number 18, or I am number 18 of 21. I am number 7 of my mom's children. So you can imagine in the birth order, I'm there. But again, with all the challenges, okay, good, I see, real. Thank you. I can read the comments through here. With all the challenges that I had, I want to speak to a mother today. I want to speak to a father today. With all the challenges I had, at one time I snapped and I became responsible. And I'm not saying all your children are going to snap. No. These children, some of them you might end up laying them to rest, because some of my siblings were laid to rest by my parents, because by my father, because some of them were really sick, some of them, just things happen. But before those things happen, whether you eat or you don't eat, whether you sleep or you don't sleep, whether you cry or you don't cry, your adult children are going to do whatever they are going to do. How is it possible? Brielle is saying, Evelyn, let me call you Evelyn. She's saying she stopped being shy with her son, because Evelyn has a child that has autism. In fact, we are going to talk to Evelyn in the next. Imagine, Evelyn, you're awake. Let me see if I can add you to this. Let me add you to this call. Maybe you can even chime in if you're able to. Let me give you a link. She said she stopped. When somebody says that she stopped, it means, Evelyn, that there's a time that you are shy about your child who has autism or who was born with the developmental disabilities. And that's why we want to talk to Evelyn, because you know what? There's a time she had to come into terms and say, you know what, I don't need to do this anymore. This is my child. And I'm not shying away from whatever it is right now. Let me, Evelyn, I'm going to send you a request. If you can, come in. Evelyn. I like the fact that you said you used to. Now you don't do that. You used to be shy, or you used to be embarrassed. So now I'm saying these children of yours, let me see. You're going to excuse me for a minute. Okay, I put the double. Evelyn, I sent you the link. I've sent you the link. Okay. So now let me continue talking. Why did I put this banner? Okay, I took that out. Yeah. So now you're feeling like, oh, my parents, maybe they were embarrassed because I was seen in Safe Lodge. My parents were embarrassed maybe because I was seen drunk. But I'm telling you, in the end, right? In the end, I'm the one taking care of my mom now. I took care of my father. You're praying that these children, one day, some of them are going to wake up one day and just be like, you know what? Oh, I'm not doing this. One day, these children are going to say that, you know what, mom, I'm about to stop this. So most of us, we are embarrassed. We don't want people to know. We think if people know, oh, they're going to talk about us. What if? I'm telling you, whether your child is a good child, whether your child has refused school, whether your child is not, does not have speech, your child is your child. If you can't accept your child and take pride about, you know, what the situation your child is in, who do you think is going to take pride? There is nobody. You're the only one who can sit there and say, you know what, I'm the mother to this child. If God gives you a child that doesn't have speech, cannot feed themselves, cannot walk, are you just going to abandon that child and go? But what makes us parents, when our children are abusing alcohol, when our children are taking drugs, when our children are refusing school, why do we feel the need to abandon these children? Why do we feel the need to hide that our children are struggling? And even for us who are Kenyan Americans, meaning we migrated from Kenya, we are here, our children are struggling with identity. If I give you my case in action, my son, our children are Kisi, Kamba, two tribes. Whatever things I tell them is from Mukambani. Whatever things their dad is telling them is from, whatever I tell them is from Kisi. When they speak to the dad, is Kamba. Then now when we come to America, these children here, they are not Kenyan and they are not American. They are like in between. So the number of children that are going through identity crisis is so high. And if you can sit and accept your child and take pride in your child, who do you expect to take pride in your child? How long do you plan to hide that your child has a crisis? I'm not telling you, go on Facebook and say, oh, my child is a drunkard. Oh, my child is a drug dealer. Oh, my child is this. No. I'm telling you to get up and figure out what challenges your children are going through. And remember, if you can't get your children help, who's going to help them? I gave the story of my father because my father called a meeting and sat with me. Evelyn, I sent you the link. Try to see if you can come into the studio. And clearly told me that, my daughter, if you continue doing this, you're not going to succeed. My daughter, if you do A, B, C, and D, your life is not going to go okay. These two parents, I can remember that meeting up to today. These two parents, I ended up being that child that is responsible to take care of my parents. By the time my parents needed care, I had become responsible, because between the age of 18 and 25, sometimes the children lose themselves. So anyway, if I can go to this book briefly while I try to get Evelyn to talk about the shy, if I can highlight some of the discussions that the writer has here. They are talking about you now moving from raising your children to supporting your children. You are no longer raising the children. Now you are invited, yeah, as a mentor. You are a coach. I said when my children were younger, I thought they needed me. Until now, I have adult children. I see the children need me more than when they were younger, but I'm not raising them. I'm mentoring them, okay? So now your children are grown. This writer starts with, you need to identify your role to your children once your children become adults, and you must change your role as a parent to your adult children. You're not just going to play that role where you're telling your children what to do, because your children now have a different mind than when you were raising them when they were below 18. And he's saying, the writer, your old job description is gone. Now you have a new job description. Before you are raising, now you're mentoring, now you're coaching. Okay, when you're praying for these children, you're praying for these children to make good choices for themselves. You're not telling them that, you know what, I want you to come home by 10. No, they're in their own homes. They can come to their own homes when they want to, because they're on their own. And then it is important for you to work hard once your children have become adults over 18, to teach them your values, your traditions, the things that you hold dearly, what makes them who they are. I'm a Kisi, the dad is Kamba, I'm a Kenyan. What are some of your values? This is the time now you go sit and have a meal, and you're not going there to lecture them. You're just going to go sit and try to see if you can carry on your legacy. You cannot carry on your legacy with a 5-year-old. You cannot carry a legacy with a 2-year-old. You're going to carry a legacy with someone who understands what you're telling them. Okay? Now, then in chapter 2, they are saying, keep your mouth shut and the door open. Meaning, keep your house always open, because these children, when they come back, they need a place to come back, right? Oh, here's the comments. Okay, good. Now I can see the comments. They need to come back, but keep your mouth shut. Unsolicited advice is usually taken as criticism. If you can, you need to get to a point where you're only advising, you're only mentoring. You are not telling your children what to do, because now you've given them a foundation. Let them come and ask you what they need to do, like they are seeking counsel from you. Trust that experience is better than your advice. Trust that the experience the children are going to have out there is better than your advice, because once they go out there and experience those things, they are going to come and ask you, Mom, Dad, how did you go about this? Okay. Number 2, in this chapter 2, they are saying give respect. No adult wants to be told what to do. Remember when my husband and I had that show where we were talking about couples parenting each other, where your wife is treating you like your mother, or your husband is treating you like your father. You cannot parent your spouse. There's an age where you get to with your children. You're not telling them what to do. You're not being like, oh, here, come here. No. Nobody wants to be told what to do, whether those are your children. You are now a mentor and a coach. You are not a mother and a father. You are not mommy and daddy. You no longer want to use those titles. They are coming to you as someone who has knowledge in something to guide them. Okay? Now, there is notes here they've put for you to go through. Actually, get this book. This book is very nice. How to tell the difference between a conversation and a lecture. I just hung up with my friend Cindy, and Cindy asked me, how is everybody? She was checking on the children, and she asked me, I told her I have a few bumps here and there, and then she asked me a very, very important question. She said, have you moved from lecture to talking? Cindy, that was a very nice question. I forgot to tell you that I had read it in this book. Have you moved from lecture to talking? So now, you are giving a lecture to your children when you do most of the talking, when you raise your voice, when you sound a little preachy, when you sound like you're speaking to a child, when your statements make you sound superior. That's when you're giving your adult child a lecture. You are having a conversation with your child when you're listening and reflecting on what the other person said. So before I chime in, I need to listen to the children fully and understand what are they trying to say before I chime in, right? You engage in a dialogue. You're engaged in a dialogue. You're not just talking. Your tone and demeanor shows respect, because you need to respect these children. Your language is free from you should statements. You should have told you. You have been given permission to speak into another person's life. It's like me calling my board members. I call them my board members. I have friends I call when I'm in crisis. So when I call to speak to them, I'm not expecting them to lecture me. They're just going to redirect me or give me, their opinion. Now, this one, I am very bad at it. And the reason why I'm bad at it, because I was coming from a generation where our parents told you straight up, you're going to fail. With the American children, I don't think it's working. American children, you can't tell them you're going to fail. Once you make that statement, it's like you just throw them off. So now, the writer is saying your words have the power to bless your children or to curse your children, okay? Be careful what you say to your children. Ask an open and ended questions. Talk with them, not at them, you see? And then speak words of grace to your children. Evelyn, I sent you the link. Speak words of grace, meaning speak positivity to your children. Why is it taking my kids so long to grow up? You can't ignore your child's culture. Lord, teach me to parent the children I have, not the kids I thought I would have. There is the children you thought you were going to have, and there is the children that you have now. Who are these children? As your children grow, you're going to look at them and ask yourself, who are these children? Your children are just going to be people that you've never even seen. You're like, are you serious? How did this happen? Okay. And always remember, when you have children, you didn't have the children by yourself. Your children is a combination of you and your spouse. So some of the things your children are doing are from you. Some of the things your children are doing are from your husband. Some of the things the children are doing are from the aunties. So your children are not you 100%. Okay. And then they are talking about alcohol. The children are going to get into pornography. The children are going to get into social media. The children are going to start thinking of cohabiting, moving in with boyfriends and girlfriends at a very young age. And you always have to really have that faith that these kids, as they're making these choices, they're going to make good choices. But sometimes they don't make good choices. Okay? There are 6 factors that they want you to consider as you're parenting your adult children. Unlock the keychain of leadership. Instead of being authoritative, empower your children. Empower people to be able to speak, which we should do to other people. Empathize with the situation your children find themselves in. Pray with them. Fuel them with positivity. Fuel them with the positive words. Prioritize your young people and your family. Create time to even go have a meal. Create time to go take a walk. Create time to even walk a dog together. Create time to garden. Create time for these children. Create time to take them for activities that they enjoy doing. So that way, they are not only smoking and drinking and watching pornography. Remove them from those things and create like something that all of you can do. You need to maintain a positive relationship with your children. Meet them at their territory, because you know what? Times have changed. The environment is different. The rules that I applied in Nyandochevere, I know the rules I'm going to apply here. My children are in a different environment. Become a student of your adult child culture. Learn your children. I'm in West Hampton, or rather in America. I need to learn the culture here. So that way we can meet our children halfway. They are telling you they want to go to a movie with a boy who's a friend, and you're saying, oh no, you can't go to a movie. Like in Nyandochevere, a boy and a girl were not supposed to be met in one place. But here the children are coming and they're saying, Mom, I want to go to the movie. And I want to go to the movie with James. So learn your environment and meet them halfway. Then the other thing is generational changes. Things changing from one generation to another generation. Be careful not to bring your old generation things to force it on them, on your children, because that really suppresses who they are. That really disadvantages them from whatever is happening with their friends. Okay? And then they are talking about entitled children. This is the worst. These are the common children that we have, a lot of us, where children are born to everything. Entitled children, they will never know how far the town is if you carry them on your back. You need to allow these children to stand on their own. Don't give them too much, because you know what? What if you're not there tomorrow? What's going to happen? Are you enabling your adult child, or you're helping? Hey, that is a complex one. You really need to sit in your right mind, because even me, I'm like always confused as I was reading this book. I don't even know when I'm enabling and when I'm really helping. I don't even know, like, should I have done that or should I not? So you need to really differentiate when you're enabling and you're making your children's life worse, or when you're helping. You need to negotiate when it comes to boundaries. You have to create those boundaries. Don't just let anything go. Okay? Make sure your children are earning what you're giving them. Make sure your children are choosing are aware that they're choosing good and bad choices, because you know what, some of the children, they don't even know right and wrong. Make sure you're making them aware that everything they are doing after they turn 18 is a choice they are making. Express yourself clearly to your children when you're in good terms. Don't wait when things are bad and is when you want now to start talking to your children. Okay. Tell your children of your expectations. Sometimes the children, some of us parents, like my father was very clear on the expectations. Some of us parents, we are not clear of our expectations from our children. What do you expect from your children? Most of us, we expect our children to be productive. We expect our children to honor our morals and standards in the home. You're not going to allow your children to get drunk, get high, and come to your house. We are expecting our children to be active in the community and in the family. We are expecting our children to be financially stable, financially responsible. When they are paid, they need to pay bills. Don't pay all the bills and then leave your children with money that they cannot manage. So eventually when they move out, they are not able to manage this money. Set a timeline for children to achieve goals. Tell them you're here for 2 years, you're here for 3 years. Don't just keep your children in the house. They need to know that, you know what, mommy is not always going to be here, and those are facts. Sit with your children, let them know the consequences of the choices they are going to make. So that way they know that if I do this, this is what's going to happen. Talk about consequences. Okay, if your children are going through challenges, in good times, sit with them and develop an action plan. An action plan is where you sit and decide, you know what, we are moving forward, this is what we need to do. We need to begin and we need to end with this. We need to set the deadlines. How long are we going to do this? We need to understand that, you know what, moving forward, we are going to start saving X amount of money. Moving forward, we are going to be cleaning our rooms. Moving forward, we are going to be visiting grandma. Moving forward, you're going to call all my siblings and say hello to them. I try to make my kids to call the aunties so they can know their aunties and their cousins. Moving forward, you need to call grandma and grandpa, okay? Your job as a parent, okay, is to move your children from dependency to independence. We all know that. But sometimes we are not doing that. We need to push them so they can move away from depending on you until you're going to eventually depend on them. Because even if you have money saved for retirement, you need your children to come and visit you in the nursing home. Those children are not going to come and visit you in the nursing home if you don't have a relationship with them. But if you're hovering around them and you're not giving them a chance to even do what they need to do, they will always depend on you. Even when you're at the nursing home and their washer and the dryer has broken, they're going to come to the nursing home and try to ask you for money while you're in the bed, okay? Asking you, mom, I need this, mom, I need that, because you allow them to depend on you so much. Teach your children to be individuals, not to depend on other people. You need to change your role from a parent to a adult relationship. Don't always treat your children like children. Allow them to be adults and engage them as adults, okay? Why blessing your children with the rite of passage matters so much? They are telling you that, you know, the rite of passage, you have to explain to your children what those the rites of passages are. You need to sit with them. Create that time when you're not when you're not arguing, when you're not fighting, okay? You need to talk about the children when they are going to college. You need to talk about graduation. You need to tell them about their jobs. You need to engage them about the benefits. You need to engage them about their marriage. You need to engage them about their children. You need to engage them about buying a home. You need to engage them the relationships that you're expecting to have them once they have children. Let them know you want to see your grandchildren every few months, okay? And when your children grow and they're not doing what you're supposed to do, you can't want it more than they want it. Now you're the one who is telling your children what to do. They are not the ones who are deciding what's right and wrong, and they are grown. So you find them doing a lot of bad things. You understand? Even good parents have bad children who make bad choices. When I say bad children, I'm saying, oh, Linky Mekata, why is it? Oh, let me send it to you. Let me send it again. I really wanted you to come and talk about that because I thought that's important. Okay, I'll get it from here.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay, Evelyn, there it is. Try that one. Why is it refusing? Anyway, so they were talking about good parents have children who make poor choices. Okay. Now, after that, when an adult child violates our values, makes poor choices, or gets in deep trouble, we often question our parenting abilities, and doubts shout at us. Let me see this. Okay. Command C. Lynn, send a request. I've put it there. There it is. Okay. So once these children do these things, you start questioning yourself. You got it? I wanted you to talk about accepting your child and not being embarrassed of your child. Okay, Evelyn, try one more time. So once these children are not doing what they're supposed to do, so you start questioning yourself. You're like, you know what? Did I do something wrong? Would this have happened if I had been a better parent? Those are the questions you start asking yourself. Would this have happened if I had been more spiritual, if I took my children to church? If I had prayed more as a family, if we had prayed more, could this have happened? If my marriage hadn't failed, we start, oh, you know what? I can invite you from here. Why is this really giving me a hard time? Anyway, try it. I've sent you the link. Go on WhatsApp. It's still refusing. Anyway, yeah. So you start asking yourself. I've put the link there, Evelyn. Okay. Then you start saying, would this have happened? Sorry. Would this have happened if we hadn't argued so much? Some of us, when our children turn out the way they turn out, we start blaming ourselves. But even if you blame yourself, there's nothing you're going to do. Children do whatever they want to do. What do you do when your adult child makes regrettable mistake choices? Offer your adult child tough love. Don't bail them out. You know, some parents don't even want to hear that. Okay. Don't be a one-topic parent where you're talking about the same thing. Okay. And some of the examples of seek professional wisdom and counsel for different issues. Some of the examples that you need to seek professional help, where you might want to talk to a therapist, to a lawyer, because some things are beyond you as a parent, okay? Where there's an addiction of drugs or alcohol, where there is trouble with the law, okay? Evelyn, how did this thing refuse? I'm not really okay with this. Let me try this again. Guys, forgive me. I really wanted Evelyn to talk about this. Let's see. The Guys, I'm sorry, but you know we have to do this. The good thing we are not CNN. We are not here trying to make anybody happy. So we can do this with no problem. That message didn't come yet. Evelyn, did you try it now? It's usually very easy to come to the studio. I don't know what's happening today. Click that link. Yeah, it's coming for me. Anyway, so there are cases where you have to seek professionals. You're not going to just talk about these things. And we are talking about addictions, alcohol, drugs, and all that stuff, pornography, trouble with the law, clinical depression, bipolar disorders, abuse, suicide attempts, self-injury, or eating. Some of these issues, don't just brush them out like that. Seek professional help. The professionals are out there. That is their job, okay? The anatomy of an atrophied faith, okay? To help our adult children reclaim their faith of their youth, we must better understand what causes their loss of faith. Here is 6 contributing factors. Neglect. Some of the children feel neglected because maybe the parents were too busy working. Some children just drift away. Some children have unbelief or lack of trust. Some children drift away because of disobedience. Some children drift away because they are insensitive to God. Some children feel like forfeiting spiritual potential because they are not believing in anything. They are like, if there was a God, this God should have rescued me. Where is he? Okay. Then the next one is the high cost of money. Financial independence and responsibility is the goal. You have to teach your children how to be financially responsible, because you're not always going to be there. And even if you're gone and you leave them an inheritance, they'll eat it up fast. Keep the goal in mind that financial responsibility and independence is what's going to give your children stability once you're gone. Okay? Clearly develop a strategy to exit from financial dependency on your children. Let your children learn to pay their bills. Teach and train your kids about health financial principles. They are not just going to learn if you don't teach them. Okay? God owns it all. Everything that we own belongs to God. These are some of the things you should say to your children. There's a trade-off between time and effort and money and rewards, okay? There's no such thing as an independent financial decision. And then delayed gratification is the key to financial maturity. This is something we need to tell our children. Delayed gratification, where we want things now. We have to teach our children the debt, how to pay debt and the slavery behind it, because you know what? Some children don't know that they cannot swipe a card and not pay the card. Spend less than you make. You have to tell your children. Delay your gratification is the answer. When you want something, you can wait. Evelyn is here. And then the last one, give 10% to your church or to a charity. And a budget is a must. These are simple things that you should say to your children. Don't be afraid to talk about money, especially when it hasn't been handled well. Evelyn, I saw you. You left again. You came. Hello? Evelyn, come back again. Yeah. So teach. Don't be afraid to talk about money. Adult children and your estate plan. You know, if you don't plan well, these children, when you go, they're going to finish everything. Okay. An open letter to your this. He has written a letter to the parent. An open letter to parents who financially support adult children. Is it too long that I can't read? Okay, let me read it as I wait for Evelyn. Okay, he wrote this letter. I write to you from a place of judgment. No, I write to you not from a place of judgment, but instead I address you based on an immense body of work that has brought me great clarity. Let me take Evelyn first before I read this letter. Evelyn.
Yes.
Was your network?
Yeah, it was from my side, I think.
I'll wait to read this letter. The reason why I wanted you to come on, you said, you made the comment that you stopped being embarrassed of your child. Although we plan to come back in next week, but I wanted you to talk about that briefly. Yeah, I waited for
about
you to
autism, yeah?
Not even about autism. We are going to talk about autism next week. About being shy of your child who has autism. You are shy. That means you at one time you were shy, then at one time you decided that I'm not going to be shy.
Yeah, of course I used to be shy, but I decided, I came to accept the condition. Then I stopped being shy. Yeah.
How long did it take you to stop
I
being
stopped
shy?
being
How old was your child at that
around
time?
3. When I was shy, my child was around 3 years old to around 5 years old.
Yeah.
At the age of 5 years old, I decided to accept the condition and I stopped being shy.
And you started taking him everywhere you are going.
Yes.
When you meet people who are looking at, like now, I don't know about Kenya, when people see your child, do they come to you to ask you what's wrong with your child?
Yeah, some do come and ask, and then some do stare at the child in a certain manner. They do those looks. They look at my child as if he's not someone who is doing the right thing. Some say that it's a spoiled child. Yeah. And if they come to me to ask why he's behaving that way, I normally explain to them.
But you're in a position where you are able to calmly talk to someone and say, you know, my child has a developmental disability or a learning disability. That's he has a condition, and that's why he is. Are you able to do that without getting upset?
Yes. Automatic. But before that,
Because
I used to be upset. But nowadays, I do it without getting upset at all.
so now, Evelyn, the reason why I said that, you know, now us who, even in America, in quotes, people say we have normal children. I'm sure you've heard about people who have children whose children are addicted to drugs, alcohol, they are stealing, they are lying, some are like doing prostitution. These people, you know, these children who do these things are people's children. You understand?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and 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 I'm finding it so hard to explain to people that if your children were born without a developmental disability, or if your children were born with, you're thinking they were okay, and now as adults they are not okay, they should not be embarrassed. That's what I'm saying. What did it take you to really accept?
Sorry?
I'm saying,
Mm.
you know, now
Uh-huh.
your child was born like that. It
Yes.
took you 3 to 5 years to come into terms, and now you're okay. You can walk around with your child with no problem.
Yes.
But you have people or parents who had children who didn't have developmental disabilities, but now these children are addicts, or they are using drugs, or they have refused school, or they are robbing banks. What can you say to those parents? Because to me, these children are their children, regardless of what they are doing.
Okay. What I can tell those parents is that at first they need to educate their children. They need to accept them the way they are. But for those who are taking drugs, maybe it's something that is caused by a certain thing. Now they need to see why their children are taking drugs, because these children are not born to take drugs. But for our case, our children were born like that. We cannot change it. But for the parents whose children were born normal and they are taking drugs, maybe they need to see something where they went wrong, or where their children go wrong. Yeah, maybe like peer
And that's
influence. They need
yeah,
to look at it. Yes.
that's where we were, and I'm going to drop you after that because it's going to an hour. You're saying that I was saying they need to seek professional help. That's what it boils down to. Because even
Yes.
you had to seek professional help. You needed to see a
Mhm.
specialist to see your child, so you could get the proper diagnosis. So that way you can give your child the help that they need. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Are we together? Evelyn's network.
Yes.
We are together. Thank you, Evelyn. We'll talk next week. Let me finish this.
Okay.
So that was Evelyn. I just needed to bring her in briefly, although we are going to talk with her next week. So now she's saying that find out why your child is acting the way they're acting. And that's what I had said before I brought her on. Some situations for your children need professional help. You might want to seek professional help. So let me read this letter. I write to you not from a place of judgment, but instead I address you based on an immense body of work that has brought me great clarity. The financial support you're offering your adult children is toxic. You are hurting them, you are hurting yourself, and until you realize it's not money that they need, everyone involved will feel the pain. Think back when you taught your child to ride a bicycle without training wheels. Who was more scared? The idea of letting go of a toddler across the concrete with little protection is terrifying. If you let go, she will fall, she will bleed. If you don't, she will never learn how to ride a bike. Most elementary transportation, she'll never learn how to ride the most elementary transportation device since invention of feet, meaning that child might never learn how to ride a bike. Once you let go, she falls and bleeds. She will quickly learn that the balance control is equal the absence of pain. At that moment, everyone moves on with their life. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Once you let go, she falls, she bleeds. She will quickly learn that balance and control equals the absence of pain. At that moment, everyone moves on with their life. Assuming you are now 20 or 30 something can ride a bike without training wheels. What was the primary element in the initial bike riding achievement? It was the willingness to remove yourself from the situation with the disturbing knowledge of your absence would result in pain. If you let them go, they were going to fall. Sometimes broken relationships can help somebody pick themselves. Children won't just drift into a healthy relationship with money. Making good financial decisions requires discipline and a plan. Money is not going to bring happiness, but living within your means with a good steward can keep both you and your kids from all kinds of regrets. Oh, that's a good letter. And now, continuing, they're talking about, let me brush through this, in-laws, step families, and the blend families. Wear beige and keep your mouth shut. Do not get in your children's relationships once they bring whoever they bring. What if you don't like them? Remember, you are also once married. You don't have to like the people that your children are bringing, but you have to find a balance, okay? 5 tips to navigate the relationship. Don't make your children choose between you and their new family. Don't complain, okay? Don't stub your toe on your old family issue. Offer support, okay? Negotiate on holidays when the children should come to you or go to their in-laws, okay? And then it's party time with the grandchildren. Principle, being a grandparent may be your long, great legacy. Create time for your grandchildren. This book is really good. Create time for your grandchildren. Walking in your footprints, you want your children, your grandchildren to know you and spend time with you so they can carry on when you're long gone. Practical ideas for influencing your grandchildren. Be present, be fun, be generous with your grandchildren. Make Sunday family time. Take vacations together. Organize a cousins camp. Plan a special grandparents trip. Grandchild, prove your home. Offer grace constantly. Forgive these children. Celebrate everything your children do. Keep supporting your adult children in their role as a parent. Okay. That is the end. Wow. Okay, those are some of the questions. They have questions at the end of the chapter, but my time is up. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to remind parents who are going through a hard time with their children right now, don't be embarrassed. Don't feel like your children are not the best children. Don't compare your children with other children who got their PhD, who got their doctorate. Don't feel like you are a bad parent. Don't regret how you raised your children. Don't look at other parents and say, I wish I should have done what so and so did. God is going to say, be present, be generous and fun. Basically, spoil them and send them back to the sender. Yes. Came in at the end. What is the name of the book? The book was sent to me by Cecilia Gatai. It's a very good book. I'm halfway done. I even sent it to Doreen. Doreen has the book. Doing Life with Your Adult Children. Keep your mouth shut and welcome. And the welcome mat out. Because you know what? They will come back to you. Okay, when they have all said and done, they will come back to your house. So just be that supportive parent. Don't feel bad that your children are not hitting the milestones. Don't feel bad that people are talking about your children. We are all human. Everybody is going through something. Everybody has a challenge. There are those ones who don't have the children and they want the children, but you have the children. And they're giving you a little challenges. Now you can't sleep. Now you don't want anybody to know. Now you're so sad. Now you're depressed. Love your children for better or for worse. If there's someone you're supposed to love for better or for worse, is your children. Your children, whether they're good kids or they're bad kids, they always count on you. And it's part of your wellness. Whether you sleep, you don't sleep. Whether you eat, you don't eat. Whether you relax, you don't relax. Whether you think or you don't think, your adult children are going to do whatever they want to do. So stay calm and give them counsel. Remember, you are their coach. Remember, you are their mentor. A coach is someone who's being consulted. We are so quick to tell them what we want. I'm learning to, and I'm speaking from my personal experience. I'm learning that, you know what? The time of dictating children is over. Even by 15, by 13, that dictating is over. Because you want to be able to meet your children where they are, understand where they are, because times have changed. Now depression is just killing our children. Now social media is killing our children. Now anxiety. There are so many things that are around our children that we cannot compare them like with any other child or the times they grew up. We grew up. Thank you for watching. Have a nice, wonderful weekend. And please don't feel bad when things are not going okay. You're not the only one who has challenges. We all have challenges, but keep those children close. If God gave you children, you're the only person they're counting on. They cannot go count on their aunties. Keep your mouth shut. Oh yes, we are always giving unsolicited advice, Kemunto. What's wrong with us? I'll be looking at them, listen and let them, but pray for them for peace until they do it right. Yes, we have to pray for them. You wake up in the morning, you pray for these children. When you're going to sleep, you pray for them. During work breaks, anytime you remember your children, pray for them and itemize them. And when they are home, parents, prayer for all religions is okay. We are talking to our Creator. Don't stop praying when you used to pray with your children. When they were little, still pray. And really, if I can finish with this, for me now who has 3 adult children, when I call prayer, I'm able to see my 4 children now that my 3rd child is home. I'm able to see my 4 children in the room. Even if it's 15 minutes for us, we pray and say the Lord's Prayer. And let me tell you, when I call for prayer, there's always the one that wants to come and go. There's always the one who's maybe that day wants to sit and talk. When they come in, the one who doesn't want to talk, they'll come and be like, Mom, today is not the day, right? I'm like, oh, okay. Then they choose to pray because they want to shorten the prayer. Because Mom's prayer is going to Nyando Chevere, God, Father, remember, Father, the hospital, the aunties, the grandma, mom, daddy, everybody. My prayer is long. I'm only allowed to pray when the children are not in a hurry. Because my prayer is praying for even the dogs, everything. I touch on every angle. And I finally finish with God, forgive us, We might be praying the wrong way, Father. Forgive us and show us the way. My prayers are just long. So when they have things to do, they make the prayer very short, and then we say the Lord's Prayer and they dash out. But for me, for the kind of person I am, I've seen all my children in the room for 10 or 15 minutes, something that I don't take lightly. Even the day I brought Dylan home, we came into the room. I guess I was obsessed with my kids. There's nothing. My life was revolving around these children. So when they come, I'm like, oh, come. And they don't really want this love. But I want to keep that connection with them. Even if it means 10 minutes, it's okay. And then sometimes I can call them like, I need tea. Nowadays, I have a lot of bad manners. I will call one of them. I'm like, oh, really? Can you make me like tea? Like I'm like old. Nowadays, I'm like old. Like I can't do much. Oh, can you cut me an orange? I'm like old. I'm like giving chores from the bed. Sometimes it's not because I can't do. I just want to have that interaction. Especially my older son. He's busy with his things. So I'll be like, Brandon, come. And then I'm giving him chores and I'm looking at him. I'm like, is everything okay? I just want them to see me and I see them. And I've told them, as long as they live in my house, I want to see them and they need to see me. And when they move out, I'm going to ask them to come to my house once a month, whether they are doing well or they are not doing well. I just want my children to come and just we barbecue and then they can go. Those are the plans I have. And I want them to be able to, tell me off and be like, Mother, bring back the things I did they didn't like. Like, yeah, Mom, like my older son, like saying, Mom, you never let me play. Now Ryan is playing outside. I don't know how long. I want to hear them comparing times. I want to hear them criticizing my parenting. So that way, when their grandchildren come, I have stories for them. I'm telling you, Kemto, they know my prayers are going all the way to Nyandoche. My mother used to pray until the food gets, oh my goodness, Kemto. So there was someone who's praying longer than me. So it is what we are doing. Our children are our future. If we have brothers and sisters who don't have children, these are their nieces and nephews. You're not raising the children for you. You're raising the children for the community also. Encourage your children to do community work. Encourage your children to go help an auntie that needs babysitting. Encourage your children to give like things for free. Yeah? Or even you. So a lot of people don't like these long prayers. Me, I don't know. You just find yourself praying long prayers. You want to cover every area. Yeah, you cover finances, you cover challenges, you cover friends. You have to cover every area. That is the power of a praying mother, right? But when they're in a hurry, let them pray. But I used to take turns. Like if I pray today, my husband will pray tomorrow. We take turns. Everybody gets a chance to pray. But Daddy's prayer is similar to theirs. Daddy's prayer is short too. So good people, enjoy your weekend. And please don't be embarrassed when your children are not doing things that bring you pride. You do not owe anybody good children. You don't owe anyone good children. I didn't think about my parents when I was doing what I was doing. I wish I knew better, but I did not. Don't be embarrassed of your children making bad choices, because if your children make bad choices and you're laying them to rest, you hid the problem, you did not get any help, the people that you are hiding from will come to the children's funeral. They're going to be there and ask you, what can we do for you? Don't wait for people to ask you when your child is in a bad situation, what can we do for you? If your child is struggling with something, reach out to me, reach out to your friend. We connect you with people who can support you. And don't feel bad that people are going to gossip you. Whether you are nice, whether you're bad, people are going to gossip you. So the bottom line is, reach out for help. We always say, check, call, and care. Check your children. Call. If you must call a professional, call. While you're trying to find a professional for your children, care for your children. Reassure them that you love them the way Christ loved the church. Regardless of their challenges, regardless of their choices, you're going to love them. It doesn't matter what they are doing. They need to be reassured that your love is constant, the way Christ loves us. Kimto is saying, now I'm being told to shorten. The same will take a nap while I'm Aki Kimto, why do we have the same problems? Yeah? As long as I want, since it was our family day, the children had a week, a day, night schedules. Lazima wataongea kwa mazuri na kwa mabaya. Do you and let it be. Thank you, ladies. I tell you, the power of a praying mother. Prayer is everything. We are going to pray. Whether things are good or bad, we are going to pray. And even sometimes we pray for the cars. When they were younger, I used to pray. And there are times I used to open, especially my daughter, I would open my eye and I'll find her eye open. And then I'm like, then I do that. When they finish, I'm like, Cindy, why was your eye open? She'd be like, Mom, why was your eye open? Okay? Because I also, I used to open my eyes to see if their eyes are closed. And when we were growing up, when my stepmom is the one who used to pray, hey, she used to pray. She was a prayer warrior. So I used to open my eyes. And my late brother Nixon, oh my God, why did my brother die so young? My brother Nixon's eyes used to meet mine. It would be like this and it would be like this. And you know, back in the day, opening your eyes during prayer, SBA, that was a crime. And you parents who are raising children in Seventh-day Adventist and Jehovah's Witness, give children grace. Times have changed. Let your children do, meet them halfway. Don't be too strict on them, because when they strike, they're going to strike really bad. Because I grew up in that church and I know how conservative we were. Don't pass on those things. May the Lord God bless you. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. And thanks for your support. If you've not liked my page, please do that. Take care of yourself. Get some rest. Everything revolves around you. Before you put your child's mask, put your own mask. Take care of yourself and have a lovely weekend. We'll see you guys next week with Evelyn. We are going to talk about autism, and we are going to talk about what it means to raise a child with special needs. We are going to talk about hiding the children. In fact, how we hide our children. We don't want people to know that our children have something going on. You tell somebody something and you tell them, don't tell anybody. Listen, love your children the way Christ loved the church. Who was Christ? Who was the church? The church is full of sinners. People who go to church, they are not good people. Most of the good people, really, maybe they stay in the house. But for us who are sinners, we go to church. Love your children unconditionally, regardless of what they do. When they are drunk, hug them. When they are high, hug them. When they missed school, hug them. Reassure your children that you love them. And always tell your children where you've come from, the reason why you act the way you act. For me, the Nyandoche story is very powerful. I had jiggers. I went to school without shoes. I didn't learn English until I was 10. I love these stories, and my children can tell you all my stories every day. I'm telling them, please don't take me back to Nyando Chevere. Do something more than Nyando Chevere. Have a story. And my children have a story. Your children are going to have a story because generations change. Talk to your children. Men, take your time and talk to your children. Your children need to know your story. How did you ask their mother out? Mommy, how did daddy ask you out? How long were you dating before you got married? How did you tell mommy that you're bringing daddy? How did you tell daddy that you're bringing mommy? Tell your children about your dating experiences. If you eloped, tell them you eloped. If you had an unprotected sex and you had them, let them know. If you did the wrong thing, let them know. Let the children know you smoked. Let the children know you drank. Don't pretend that you did not go through that phase, because children have respect for parents, and children don't have a way to know that you went through the challenges they are going through unless you tell them that, you know what, when I was your age, I went through those challenges, but here is how I survived. Because you did survive to have the children today. Don't pretend that you are good. If you are good, we applaud you. But find a way. I cannot just stress this more than I can, the way I have done it. Love on those children. Have a lovely weekend.